All right, up next, man, from Disney Plus is Ironheart, which dropped earlier this week. This is a TV miniseries created by Chinaka Hodge for the streaming service Disney Plus, based on Marvel Comics featuring the character of the same name. This is the 14th series, Charles, 14th television series in the MCU produced by Marvel. And in this one, we see MIT student Riri Williams return home to Chicago following the events of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, where she discovers secrets that pit technology against magic. Wow. Dominique Thorne reprises her role as Riri Williams, starring alongside Lyric Ross, Manny Montana. I'm sorry. Every time I say Manny, I think about Scarface.
Scarface, yeah.
Let's see. Cree Summers, Eric Andre is in this. Anthony Ramos and Alden Einrich. And bruh, Charles, I'm gonna let you lead off because you're more the MCU guy. Because in my review I wrote, I have issues because I always feel like I got to do research every time I watch a Marvel property because I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Okay, so first let's just say this. We all know Riri Williams from, Black Panther and the other stuff, Wakanda Forever, I should say. So we kind of have a knowledge of who this character is.
Right.
Um, and it seems like they throw it all away. She's an MIT student and she gets kicked out of school and she's not working with the Wakandans and I mean, everything that was making her, relevant is stripped away from her. And so she's got to build up I guess, her rep on her own. And then she joins a group of villains uh, in order to make money to fund her research. So a lot of this is like I understand where Shanaka Hodge is going with this, but I don't like the idea that a bad guy, a good guy, is thrown in with a bad guy to for whatever reasons, and maybe it's because she's young and she doesn't have anyone to advise her not to do these things, or maybe she's just not listening to the people who are advising her not to do these things. But I'm not sure how I felt about I mean, it's interesting to watch, but I really did not connect with this show.
Hmm.
There's a lot about it that because I know the Hood, and the Hood has no connection in the comic books with Ironheart whatsoever. Their
Wow.
paths never crossed, and so it's kind of interesting just to see where they're going with this, and I can see how they're developing her character, but it really hasn't. Maybe I need to see the final three episodes to feel like I've been rewarded, but it's just a lot of uh I don't like it. I didn't like it.
Okay, so this is good, right? Because when I was writing my review this morning, I talked about the fact that there's still 3 episodes left, and that like maybe we'll see where the story is going. And the reason why I had you lead off, Charles, is because clearly I'm not a guy that knows a lot. I go into these movies or these projects and just watch them for what they are, right? Like you give me a story, I'm just gonna critique the story. The issue I have, and I've shared this with Charles and other critics that I know, is starting in 2008 when Marvel introduced the MCU, there was always scenes or times that I've been in the movies where a certain thing will happen. And if I'm not sitting next to Charles or I'm sitting next to Travis Hobson or Julian Lytle or Shireen Nicole, other critics who have read these comics, um, people are cheering and going, oh my God, this is happening. I'm like, well, what's happening? So it's the only form or genre of films that I watch that as a film critic, I always feel like I go into these stories handicapped. Like I don't know what, like to your point, when you just talked about the Hood played by Anthony Ramos, paths never crossed in the comics with Ironheart. I would have not known that, and that's not reflected in any review I wrote because I don't have the context or the knowledge that it takes, which I think is a challenge watching all these films because they're films that I can connect. Like there's a certain reveal that happens, Charles, with one character that connects back to the original Iron Man, right? Which I thought was
Right.
like a pretty cool callback. But if you had never seen Iron Man before and you're just watching this for the first time, you're like, I don't know what's going on. And I, I mean, seriously. So I think to me, this is my own personal complaint. And I always tell Charles, if I would have known that Marvel Cinematic Universe would have been a thing starting in 2008, I would have probably spent more time in the 70s and 80s reading comic books so I could at least have had some context or some backstory on how do you navigate this? And I think that's the part that's confusing, that these movies, Charles, are made more for the fans than they are for the general public. The general public goes, but we really don't have the depth of knowledge or the context to really enjoy these stories fully. Or, in your point, go, I don't know what we're doing here. This is not making any sense to me that you're doing this. But from what I watched, anytime there's a person of color that's in the MCU, I think this, and that they focus and build a show around, I think that's pretty cool. I liked what they did with the AI elements of it, with her pairing
Oh
her
yeah.
with someone. I liked all of that. I think Anthony Ramos is another person of color, in a role that, him leading a group of criminals. So I thought that there were a lot of things that happened that worked as a storytelling device, but I respect your opinion as it relates to how does all of this tie in. And of course, hopefully Riri Williams leaves this show and I guess she joins the MCU at some point in something that they got going on. I don't know because everything is so hush hush and secret. But I enjoyed it from cinematically what it was, not knowing anything else about it, Charles. So we will see the you on this one.